Hey everybody, hope you all doing alright. So I just listened to a video I just made, and after listening to my video, it dawned on me that what the world really needs, or America, the world too, but especially America right now with what's going on, is we really do need a way to examine what's being done from an energetic standpoint. To me, I think that's the only way it's going to break through the bullshit. It's going to break through what's good and bad, people's opinions, just get straight to the nuts and bolts and to the truth of the matter. Best way to do it is to break things down to energetically, like what type of an energetic actual effect is a choice going to have. Because we have a situation. I mean, we've been having situations, but things are escalating, and the way we react to things is going to dictate the trajectory that the reaction takes. The reverberation that follows, is going to be based on the reactionary measures that we decide or don't decide to take. So how we react to this thing in LA is huge, and there's a lot of different things that can be done. So I'm going to do some meditation and think about things a little bit, but it just dawned on me more than ever, because that's what the world needs. Like, instead of like getting into this right and wrong and like feeding into emotions and all this bullshit, like we all need to chill. Like, the people, even if people are protesting for good reasons, if they're protesting in a way that hurts other people, then they're committing a bad action. So it's like, from multiple standpoints, like if you're really trying to bring about good change in your lives, but the way that you guys are doing it is you're protesting in a destructive and a violent way, that's not going to bring about good change. And it's like, for those that are truly protesting or demonstrating with the intent to truly try to bring about goodness in their lives and to fight back against the evil powers of the world, because I do think a majority, well, I'm not sure how many, but I do think a portion of these people protesting are doing so for that reason, because they truly want to stand up and have a voice, and they think that this is their way of doing it, of fighting back against evil. So it's good that they're doing that, but their method is just not as effective as it could be. And not only that, is if they're going into the violent and the destructive side of things, then they're actually hurting others as well as themselves and their ability to make a good change. So it's just detrimental in a number of ways. And this is also where this is important, because there's certain forces that are going to use situations like this as loopholes, as gateways, as portals to commit more evil. So whenever there's a chaotic situation, like again with the criminals, like when they know that the cops are busy doing this type of shit, it leaves it gives criminals more space, more ability, more of an allowance to commit crime, because there's less cops to stop them. Excuse me. So it behooves the criminals to have things like this going on, which, if there is also an agenda against America, one of the ways that you could continue to cripple and weaken a nation is by committing things like this, like having mass riots and just anarchy and craziness in the streets, and civilians getting mad with each other and not trusting in their law enforcement officers, while it's dealing with stores that are being dealt with theft and prices going up. I mean, this is what I'm looking at, is like in California, slowly but surely turned into more and more, it's starting to look more and more like a third world country or a third world area on the planet, even though it's right here in America and one of the richest, wealthiest states of America. And when you think about it, if it can happen in California, if it can happen to LA, it can happen anywhere. So anyways, again though, every problem is an opportunity in disguise. So I'm going to sit here and do a little bit more work on trying to break things down energetically, because right now, that if that type of a method was applied to the U.S. government, then the government would start looking at things in a more of an energetic perception, as opposed to whatever perception that they have, which you don't even really know, because it's hard to know what people's true intent are. Or it's hard to know if they're even going to keep the intent that they say they have when they got elected. And that's another problem with current politicians and the way of governance. But if we had a method of looking at people's actions and decisions from the perspective of an energetic effect on the world around them, then it wouldn't matter if they decided to change their mind. Because if that change they decided to make isn't good, then the method that I'm working on creating will deduce that, we'll see that, we'll identify that, and it won't be allowed if we are to have a country that is of goodness. So anyways, all right, I love you all. Have a good day. Bye.